That was in March of 1943. Yeah, I got it by 43 because they landed in Africa in November of 42. So went up to the Mature Valley, met the outfit, and I did some fighting, not too much in Africa, but I did quite a bit. And that's the first time I heard about Hill 609, which was close by, and one of our regiments, the 16th Regiment, was the first outfit that I know of that had a bayonet attack on Hill 609. They took the hill with another regiment of another division. So after the campaign in Tunisia, they sent us back by, we drove back in jeeps back to Algiers and Oran, and we did our training there. We didn't know where we were going next, of course. So let me see, we did some night training on Higgins boats, and when we landed one morning, we were out all night getting soaking wet. We met General Bradley, Patton, and Eisenhower, and he was standing there with his chauffeur, and you're right, it was a woman. We did our training there, and we got on boats. We didn't know where we were going again, but we got on LCIs, landing craft infantry, and they about the size of a destroyer, but all held was troops. And we started out at night, and the next day you would not believe the weather. Oh, we left from Oran, we went to Tunisia, and disembarked for one day, and then we went on our way to Sicily. And the weather was so bad, they were going to call the landing off. But I guess Eisenhower listened to his weatherman, and it was calm about 4 o'clock in the morning on the 10th of July. So we landed at Gila, and we got our objective. We got ashore and everything. Okay, it was bad enough. So we had another objective, but we took that up in the hill. But looking down in the valley was the first time I saw tanks going at it. Oh man, oh man! I don't know. There might have been maybe 30 tanks on boats together. I don't know how many actually. But we had a front row seat, and that was really something. Of course, our boys won out. But I forgot to tell you, on the night we landed in the morning, the 504th paratroopers came over, and some trigger-happy guy in the Navy opened up, and that was awful. They shot these guys coming down in their parachutes. That was so bad. Anyhow, it happens sometimes. Our main objective, we were going up to Chouina. The 3rd Infantry Division was on the left of us, going up to Palermo. On the right was the 9th Infantry, and the British, they were going up towards Catania, which is near the Mount Etna. What a beautiful sight that is in the evening, the smoke trailing out of the Mount Etna. So anyhow, we finally wound up for the campaign. It took 38 days. The end of July 10th, it was over August 18th, and we were at Troween at that time in the center of the island. So we come back down to where we landed at Gila, and all of a sudden they got a call, and they put 2,000 of us on a truck, shipped us up to Palermo, another port of embarkation. The 3rd Division was there, and they were catching hell at Salerno at that time. So they replaced us. We replaced their casualties, and we got on a boat and went to Salerno. And that's how I got into the 3rd Division, M Company, 30th Infantry. We took our objective at Salerno, and we marched after that, we marched about 20 miles up into the mountains at a Cherno. And that's where our objective was. That was a hell of a thing. Uphill, full packs, everything, you know. So we finally made it on the outskirts at night. So we rested, and we were going to go at them on the morning. And I damn near shit my pants. But you always felt that way before the first shot is fired. Anyhow, you got to go to the bathroom, and all of a sudden you don't have to go. So they say, fix bayonets, and so anyhow, we go across this orchard, okay, and the guy jumps up in front of me. Don't ask me where he came from. I do not know. All I know is I jabbed him with a bayonet, and I don't even know if he fell down. I pulled up and kept on running. So we finally took the town. And from Cherno, we went up to Caserta, little towns on the way, skirmishes here and there. And when we say little skirmishes, somebody's trying to knock you off. You get some artillery fire, small arms fire, all the time. You're under fire all the time. So anyhow, we went up to Caserta, which was the king's palace. That's where his palace was at that time, and before the war. And we went up we were heading towards what we call the Winter Line. Up in Mindanao, I can hardly think of those names. And our objective wound up to be, and by the way, there's so many mountains and hills over there, that they had mule trains up there, and when they couldn't use the mules, we had to carry the stuff. That's how bad those mountains were. So our objective was Mount Rotundo. And you might have heard of a guy by the name of Fitzy Britt. He was a lieutenant governor of Arkansas. He was All-American for Arkansas. And I forget how many medals this guy got. He was great. He was a captain. I forget what company. I think it was